The most important skills to completely internalize for digital building are often overlooked by tutorials. How to seamlessly navigate the studio interface. If you can't do this, everything else gets harder. But once it's second nature, everything else gets easier. Let's look at how to zoom, rotate, and pan your model view in Bricklink Studio. If your model is too big or small, it can be really difficult to add more parts in the right places. Keeping the area you're working at zoomed into a comfortable size makes it easier to add parts and to make modifications. So how do you do that? Well, in Studio, zooming in is as easy as using the scroll wheel to scroll up to go out and down to zoom in. If you have a trackpad on your laptop instead, you can zoom in with usually a 2-finger swipe. And as you zoom, it focuses right on the center of the screen so that you can get it to be just the right size. I find that having it be roughly a full size is usually best. You can also zoom with keyboard shortcuts. So Control plus will zoom in, Control minus will zoom out, and Control 0 will fill the screen. If you're having trouble adding or connecting pieces, one of the first things you should ask yourself, almost always, is, am I zoomed in close enough? Now, of course, you're not always going to be looking at the front of your model, so just as important as the zoom and the size is your rotation. To rotate your view, right-click and drag. You can go right and left to kind of spin to see the other sides. You can drag up and down to pan up and around the model and get it exactly where you want it to go. I've found that it usually works best if you can see the studs where you're trying to attach your next piece. So if I were trying to attach pieces here in this corner and I couldn't see them, it's a lot harder than if I rotate and now I can see those studs directly. That makes it a lot easier. If you're using a new version of Studio, you can use the rotate gizmo to jump to a specific orientation. So if I want to see the left, or the front, or the top, I can click on that to jump to that rotation. I also have, if I hover over this little camera, a bunch of preset options here as well, where I can say, hey, I want to see the left, the right, the top, the bottom, the front, the back, and you can jump to it there as well. And then finally, as your models get larger or more complex, you'll find that a comfortable zoom level doesn't quite show you the parts of the model you want. And so you might need to adjust which parts of the model you're zoomed in on, or you're able to see. To do that, you need to pan the view around. You simply hold the spacebar down and click and drag with the left mouse button. That'll let you push your view in any direction you can drag your mouse. Now that I have a new center, if I zoom or rotate, I can get better control of what I see. Especially for larger or more complex models, being able to zoom in on the part of the model you're working on and make sure that it's panned in a good way is going to make things much, much easier for you. With these 3 skills, zooming, rotating, and panning, you'll be able to be in control of the model and where you add your pieces. Seeing your model clearly makes everything else in Studio so much easier. And I tell beginners all the time that these are the 3 most important skills you can learn and practice. Especially if you're a beginner, make a habit of asking yourself, could I see this more clearly if it were bigger or rotated? And you'll be surprised at how much faster you'll be able to create and how much easier the program feels to use once these habits become second nature. If this was helpful, say thanks with a like, comment, or subscribe. Be sure to check out more Studio tutorials, including the rest of the Studio Basics playlist on my channel. The next one is about finding parts in the palette and adding them to your model. Happy building!